Filipina moving to Russia is not what you think it is. Imagine booking a fun escape, going to Russia, and ended up living there with a toddler. Yes, with a toddler. I know it sounds wild, but that's our life. Hi everyone! Welcome to Filipina in Russia podcast. I want to share our first 6 months here in Russia. Quote, the honest truth. Yes, you heard it right. The honest truth. No sugarcoating. But before that, I'm going to give you a quick recap on how I met my husband. So I met my husband named Anton in one of the islands in the Philippines, specifically Panglao, Bohol. So that unexpected meeting led us to a very unexpected journey in our life. So stick around if you ever wondered what happens when you leap your life into unknown. Leave your comfort zone and to live in abroad. Yes, that's me. That's our family living in abroad. So I'm going to show you how it's really like living here in Russia. Our journey living here in Russia. Now, the statement should be our journey from Philippines, beautiful islands, beautiful sunny weather, to Russia, which is cold, by the way, super cold. Yeah, so I'm telling you what would be our journey, so stick around. So as I said, Anton and I met in Panglao, Bohol in the year 2019. And yes, in the same year, we got pregnant and blessed with our daughter named Stacy. So our life in the Philippines was beautiful. It's fun, but very challenging. We went through many struggles, yet we considered ourselves still lucky. Now, here we are in Russia, and yes, you heard it right. We are now living in my husband's hometown. Well, actually, while many people told us not to go, but you know what's the shocking part? Here we are, living beautifully. And that's a fact. I'm not lying. It's the truth. So you might be wondering, why move to Russia? Isn't it scary? Well, to answer that, for us, this is where our family feels happiest. So I think that's the best answer. How do I explain this? We're just peace out here. Just that. I guess you understand it. But to elaborate it more, I will tell you more. We feel we have a purpose. We're busy, productive, and genuinely happy. Anton is of course glad to be back home and meet his old friends. Stacy is thriving. She goes to school every day and is slowly learning the language and has made new and lots of friends, Russian friends. And what about me? About myself? Honestly, I'm happy. Actually, very happy. I'm stepping into a new and improved version of myself. Did you notice how I just said that? Yeah. I've been busy learning new things. The language, their culture, new recipes, and many more. So that's how I told you that we are busy in here and very productive at the same time. That was not a joke. I see my in-laws almost every day. We are just living close, like very close. And I'm so lucky to have such loving in-laws. You know, they adore me, of course. And what I really like is they absolutely love their grandkid, Stacy. She's like their treasure. And you cannot imagine how spoiled she is. Of course, in a good way, not in a bad way. Well, you know, that's what grandparents are for, right? Now, let's talk about expectations versus the reality. Wow, I guess many of you want to know what's the reality among all the expectations. Well, to tell you the truth, my expectations were mostly negative. You know, Russians are like this, blah, blah, blah. So, influenced by that, you cannot blame me to think about negativity, especially how the Russians behave, the food, and of course, about Stacy, how she would adjust to a foreign country. Even with all those worries, yeah, I still agreed. Very brave of me. But luckily, the reality, all my negativities are completely wrong. It's so much more better than I imagined. So, it's good to know that expectations are completely wrong and completely opposite to the reality. I'm not saying that Russia is perfect, okay? Let's clarify that. Nor am I comparing it unfairly with the Philippines. My heart will always belong to the Philippines. No one can take it away. I'm a Filipina. Of course, my heart belongs to the country where I'm born, and that's Philippines. Nothing beats sinigang, kamatisang, bulad. What else? Tinola with a lot of malunggay paired with mais numero 16. You know, nothing can beat that. But, you know, of course, there were so many challenges. I became depressed during my second month here. It's mainly because of the language barrier. It really hit you differently. When you move to a foreign country which doesn't speak English at all, it just makes you feel stupid. That's it. I had to depend everything, almost everything, to Anton. Even grocery shopping. Doing groceries, everything there is in Cyrillic. No English at all. I felt so pressured and useless at the same time that, you know, it sometimes caused an arguments between us. I'm not gonna lie about that. Because all my life I've been, you know, learning to speak English, but then I ended up just being in a country which doesn't speak English at all. And it's so hard for myself. So hard. Like, you cannot talk to someone because no one speaks English. Only your husband is. So, as I said, it hits very differently here. Which I hate the feeling because I am such a bubbly person, and then just that one snap, I cannot like socialize, you know, see my friends like back in the Philippines. But upon having arguments between us, it's not Anton's fault, actually. It was just my frustration after all. Yeah. Language you know. It sucks that you don't know how to speak the language, but I'm trying. So eventually I started studying basics, at least the alphabet first. That I'm confident already. So I could begin reading. Yeah, I can read now. Not perfect, but to rate it, it's 80%. I can read Cyrillic. That small step gave me the confidence to go out and shop by myself. Another challenge was homesickness. Yeah, you heard that right. Homesickness. I rarely feel this way because ever since I've been living away from my mom's place. But then again, this time it hits differently. Maybe because I didn't have any friends, anyone to talk to except my husband and my daughter, Stacy. I missed my family so much. I miss my mama. Despite it all, I'm so grateful with my husband, who always understands me, when you have frustrations, a little of depression, it's chaos. And to my in-laws who treat me like their own daughter, I really appreciate it. They often surprise me with a little gestures, always tries to communicate despite of the communication barrier, and genuinely make me feel loved. And fun fact, whenever Anton and I have a misunderstanding, they always take my side. I don't know why. But that's the truth. They always take my side. I genuinely miss my mama in the Philippines, especially after all the sad news. I really miss her a lot, but thankfully my in-laws are there to make me feel like I'm their own part of the family. So thanks to that, I feel like I have my parents here too. So now I'm going to share you about what people don't tell you. I guess you guys have an idea. First thing, the weather here is not a joke. It's not a joke. I have to wear 3 layers of clothing. 3 layers. And a good shoes during this cold season. Imagine that. Knowing way back in the Philippines, I only wear slippers and a crop top and a short. Just that. But here, you cannot do that when it's the cold season. Oh my god, it's so hard to adjust. Seriously, even coffee and soups are what I crave during autumn, which is now. So it's still autumn, but I'm wearing 3 layers of clothing already. Imagine that. Please do imagine that. Oh my god, this weather is not a joke. I'm so used in the sunny weather. Sun all the time, But that's our decision to stay here, so laban. Next is the bureaucracy. That is one thing that people don't tell you. Getting paperwork done, like my tourist visa, it was very complicated. Well, for example, actually, as soon as we got here, we didn't know that we need to register, that I need to be registered. So the process of everything was slow. A lot of postponing because this and that. So many reasons, and it basically take us like more than 10 attempts just to process everything. Well, only in our hometown. I don't know to the other hometowns in Russia, but I'm talking only based on my experience. So yeah, that's why I'm including it in what do people don't tell you. Next is people are polite but reserved. Russians, yes, we have this, judging about Russians, but they are just being themselves, which is reserved. We thought Russians are cold, but once they warm up at you, they're incredibly generous and loyal. They are not like the type of people who are, same as us Filipinos, who are very hospitable and friendly. Like, we show who we are in the first impression. They are different, but I'm not saying that they are bad. Okay, they are nice people. It's just that it takes time for them to give that, behavior that you deserve. They will get to know you first, and then there they are, unexpected, generous, and loyal. Last thing about people don't tell you is unexpected joys. Unexpected happiness. Because when I came here, there are things I don't really imagine that it will make me happy. You know what I mean? It's like a little joy. A little thing that can give me so much happiness. I don't know how to explain it more. Long walks here. The walks here, when you walk here, I don't know, maybe because the place is nice, it's good to walk to, because you can wear heels, you can wear the boots that you like. It's very well cemented. The way is nice. Unlike the Philippines, it's not. So walking is not really like enjoyable for us. And it's in here, it's more surrounded on trees, which also give you the peaceful feeling and contentment, because wow, this is such a good walk. Like, you never thought that you've been walking a long way already, because you are amazed on how the place look like, on how the trees are. Another thing is cooking. For example, I never thought that I will be happy cooking, especially a very simple recipe, which is blini, it's called, or in English, it's a pancake. I never thought that it can give me such laughter, because I admit it's very easy, but it's just very satisfying to make. And making blini is so easy, and this food can give you a lot of dishes to make. But the point is, just making the blini itself is really satisfying and makes me happy. So all I've talked in that, those are part of our 6 months experience living here in Russia. The honest truth, right? I'm going to tell you about my life lesson here living in Russia. Just first and foremost, be prepared. This might be easy for you, but no, girl, you need this. Be prepared emotionally and physically, because as I said, arriving here 2nd month makes me depressed already, and I was not completely aware that it will happen to me. I'm such a happy person, and it hits me, the sadness. So just telling you, be prepared of your emotions when you're planning to come here in Russia, especially living. Not specifically in Russia, living abroad, away, out of the Philippines. Your physical and emotional state should be you know, prepared. Get ready for it because you will need that. Next is real life begins when you step out of your comfort zone, especially when moving to a country where English is not spoken. Yeah, that one. Very challenging. Super. Independence, patience, and resilience would become part of your daily life. And lastly, yes, the life lesson would be home isn't just where you were born, it's where you grow, feel loved, and build your family. So, if you're living in the Philippines, it's not just your home, you know. When your partner is planning to move abroad or going back to his country, it can still be your home. Where your family is, that's your home. So, we are living here in Russia, and this is my home, my second home. Being a Filipina in Russia is not easy. I miss everything, especially my mama and fun get together with my friends in Dumaguete. But I've discovered a stronger, braver version of myself here in Russia. So thank you for listening and watching for my first episode, our first month here in Russia, Code Code, The Honest Truth podcast. But guess what? The story is not over. In my next video, I'll share big cultural differences that I never expected. The unexpected, the surprising, and the bakit moments as a Filipina in Russia. Bye!